Lions TV, this is the Den Daily bringing you all the latest gossip, views, and transfer news from in and around the Den. The transfer deadline is looming. It closes tomorrow. That's Thursday, the 1st of February at 11 p.m. And this video I'm going to do today is a video that I've been considering doing for a while. Okay, and it's on Romaine Esse, but now added to the fact that he's not getting in the side, and a lot of our fans are not happy about that. You can now factor into the debate what you've just seen there on the screen is that Peter O'Rourke, a very reliable source, has said that Hull and Premier League Burnley are interested or may have already made bids, contact definitely made with our club about the availability of Romaine Esse. It's a difficult one, but I think he's a player that we absolutely don't want to lose. A lot of people saying sell him for 8 million and reinvest the money. Firstly, you're not going to get 8 million for him. Secondly, as we know of our club, a lot of the time you're probably not going to get £8 million to reinvest in our squad. Sorry, it just popped into my head. I checked the comments earlier on Instagram, and someone just put on my post on that. Can Burnley just fuck off for 5 minutes? It did make me laugh. We do seem to be attracting interest from Burnley or our players, and of course we have signed Michael Obafemi from them as well on loan until the end of the season. But look, Romaine Esse is a player. I said this not too long ago on the podcast that if we've got a player that's not really playing, we're not really fussed. As long as our team's doing okay, which it is at the minute. I think it's a transitional period, and something I saw as well online that Gary Rowett's team hasn't fully left yet, and Joe Edwards' team hasn't fully arrived, and we're sort of changing the face of the football club. And it's going to take time. But Esse is one that is really getting the fans' backs up, that he's not involved whatsoever. I think that I've said this before as well. I think he's been over-exaggerated from our fan base. Look, he's a young talent that's come through our academy. He's been at the club since about 9 years old, and it's still only 18 years old. We're hoping he's got a long time left in his Millwall career. I'll liken him a little bit, and I don't think he's anywhere near the level of Tyler Bury. I think he's going to be a much bigger talent with a much better attitude. But I remember when Tyler Bury came in and he played a lot of 21s football, or his 23s at the time, and he wasn't very good. And he came in, he was an attacking type player. He got bums off seats, and everyone lost their shit saying, what a player. He's going to go on to bigger and better things. We ain't going to keep him. There was rumours that Brentford were going to bid, and then he ended up fizzling out and going out to a team in Sweden. He's now back in England playing for Oxford. So I can understand where the excitement comes from. However, I don't feel that Esse has yet fully landed, and that's not his fault. He bypassed the 21/23s, as I've just mentioned. And when he came into our first team under Gary Rowett, people were saying to me, what's he like? And my answer was, I don't know. I've never seen him play, because he bypassed that stage of his progression at the football club and went straight into the first team. I think he played his first game against Bromby in a pre-season friendly, and he looked really good. And then he sort of became a part of Gary Rowett's plans, coming off the bench. Looked exciting on the ball, but didn't really have the end product, in my opinion. But look, at 18 years old, he's not expected to. And we thought he'd feature heavily this season, never more so on the opening day of the season of this season, when he comes off the bench with Ino Amaku. They're subbed on for Watmore and Fleming away at Borough. And Amaku does a brilliant run and then puts a good ball in and assists Esse for a fantastic goal, his first goal in senior football. Then, of course, he did fizzle in and out the side again, and Gary Rowett leaves the club, and Joe Edwards comes in. Now, when Joe Edwards comes in, everyone said, brilliant. He wants to invest in the youth. He's worked with Esse at under 19 and under 18 England levels, and he'll definitely be at the forefront and be a big part of Joe Edwards' plans. Now, that hasn't happened, and I'm not sure why it hasn't happened. Well, look, I'll be honest. For the here and now, I don't think he's good enough. Okay. However, he's our player. He's a young talent. And he has definitely got big potential. He's very tricky on the ball. I still think there's an issue as to what his best position is. We did see him play in central midfield in pre-season during games. He's allegedly more of sort of a wide striker, and position and final ball and end product and making the right decisions. I think that will all come with him with games. I don't know why Joe Edwards hasn't hardly played him. I think, he's obviously seen him, he trained every day. I don't think he's got a bad attitude at all. I just think with the England youth connection and Edwards' previous stint in his career within that England setup, I just think a lot of us were expecting to see more than Esse, and that hasn't happened. And over the last A couple of months, you've seen Ryan Longman play there, who's not a Millwall player. You saw Kevin Nisbet play there, wide areas. You've seen Ian Fleming play there in wide areas. And under Rowett, you saw Vogelsammer and Honeyman as well under Joe Edwards play. So all these players are mentioned in there for a reason, because they're all players that are out of position playing in Esse's position. Now, he came off the bench at half-time for Longman, who was injured and dislocated his shoulder on Saturday against Preston. And I thought he did well. What the club needs to do, I think, is give us something. Give us a plan. Say, look, Esse's fantastic. He signed to a long-term contract and he's not going anywhere. However, we're going to stick him out there. He's going to go out to League One or League Two. Steve Morrison has just taken Nino out of Malaki at Sutton. You know, we're going to stick him there. We're going to stick him League One with them guaranteeing us that he's going to play the rest of the season, 20, 25 games. I think that will be enough for the fans. But I think the fact that he's just sitting there, not playing, we're not doing fantastic. You'll see other players, some of them not even Millwall players, playing in the position, out of position, that is Esse's position. How many times do I want to say position? I think that's what's getting people's backs up. Now, what's added fuel to that fire is, as we said earlier, Burnley and Hull are now in for Esse. An approach has been made to our club from both of those clubs. So, yeah, look, I don't know what to say. I don't think he'll leave. Joe Edwards has responded and said, I don't want to lose Romaine. I do understand, why he could slightly be frustrated at the minute with his lack of game time. I mean, it's never a good time to sit on the bench in your career, but he's at this space now where he's not playing in the 23s because he's above that level, but he's not getting in the first team. So all he's really doing is training. As I said, I thought he showed flashes when he come on Saturday of good things. And what I think now is if, we can't guarantee we're not going to go down, but I'm pretty confident we're not going to go down this season, especially now with the new players coming in and more to follow. Hopefully there'll be another video out today on another player signing from Morecambe. But look, I just think now, either say to the fans, this is what's happening with Esse, okay? He's going to go out on loan to X, Y, or Z for X amount of games for the rest of the season. The fans will be happy with that. If not, I'd just play him. I'd just play him now. I don't say we're not going up, we're not going down. And I think, yes, he'll come in. I don't think he'll be at the level. I think he'll be frustrated at times. But I think the only way for him to get to that level and to learn is to do it in our first team. We've put a lot of time and investment into Romaine Esse. But going to Hull, going to Burnley, if he goes there, which I don't think he will, what's he going to do there? He's not going to get in Burnley's first team, and he's not going to get in Hull's first team. They're doing all right. They're near the top six. So he'll only go there and sort of be in and around the same level. I don't think he wants to go there. He's very, very young. He's a Londoner, of course. He's local to us. So I think it would definitely benefit him. And he may have had chats with the manager and the CEO, Steve Cadwallader. I'm not sure. But he definitely needs some clear plan, which the fans need to find out, because we don't want to lose him to the likes of Hull or Burnley. Will that happen? I hope not. But of course, the transfer window closes tomorrow, as I've said, and I will bring you more on that as it happens. But for me, why can't Romaine get a game? I don't know. And I think that it's time now that he probably should. As I said, I think he may struggle. But look, end of the season, there you go. We're going to play until the end of the season if you're fit. You're going to get X amount of minutes, X amount of starts, and get up to the level, because, as we know, we're a club that can't always get out and buy these players. So I'd rather nurture, progress, and develop one of our own players than as opposed to a Ryan Longman, who is the most fucking inconsistent man in football, by the way. But look, that's another video for another day, potentially. But for me, Romaine Esse needs to be either, one, fully involved now in our first team with a guaranteed few starts, or two, the club needs to draw up a decent plan for him and say, we're putting him out on loan to a League One / League Two club, and we're going to let him progress through the end of the season, and then bring him back in the summer, and then we'll go again from there, because he was sitting on the bench. He's no good to anyone. He's not getting any minutes anywhere at the minute, of course, other than the 45 he got against Preston on Saturday coming off the bench. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.